My name is Annabel Ramiki, and I've been fostering now coming up 4 years. I foster children from 0 to 18. I was a foster child myself from the age of 7 to probably 13, and I've always loved children, you know. And as my children get older, I decided that I would like to do fostering, but I wasn't sure what it entails. But because a lot of my family does fostering, I used to be around the children, and the children they used to visit. And then I spoke to my relative about me doing fostering, and they sort of encouraged me, but they didn't tell me about the pitfall, well, about how difficult some of the children could be. So my husband and I, Leslie, we sat down and we talked about it, and he didn't straight away said we can do it, but after he think about it, then he decided that yes, I'll support you in, you know, doing that, and we just take it from there. Foster mean everything. I think for me, being a foster child, because my experience wasn't the best experience. I just thought that because of the person I am, I don't know what it is, but I think I've got a lot to give, and I just think that when the children come into my home, I sort of know how they feel when they come into your home, which I didn't have. Looking back when I was a foster child, the things I would like to hear and the way I would want it to be treated, I didn't get that, and I was thinking that I could help a child in that sense and help them to enhance their life, if it's just a little bit. I think you make a little difference in their life. I think that's the most rewarding, just making a slight little difference into their lives. That's the most rewarding thing for us. And the hardest part sometimes is you doesn't give up your whole life, but you have to make a lot of adjustment to your personal life, your family life as well. You know, you can't just get up one morning and say, I'm just going here, I'm going there, because you have to consider the children. And it does have an impact on your family life, because you always have to make sure that you're there for these children, because they need you. They come into a new environment and they need you. So you have to make that sacrifice. With every children that comes into your home, it's always a different challenge. And we just deal with children individually according to how they are and try and support them the best that we can. But it did impact on our family. It did, because, you know, we're quite new in fostering. And fostering as well is a learning process, you know. You learn something new every day. But you just have to deal with it the best you can. And I think for us is talking to other foster carers. Training is very important, extremely important, because with all of those, you really, really struggle. Because sometimes there's certain things you can't really share with your support network because they're very confidential stuff. You have to keep it in the home, between myself and Leslie. So training allows us to get a better understanding, to develop the skill that we need. And so far, that has helped us tremendously. The application process, it was very intense in the sense that there's a lot of things that you have to go through to get to every stage, you know, it's the different stages. And sometimes that can be a little bit thinking, oh, you know, you're unsure of, you know, because of the process you go through. But because I was determined to be a foster carer, I did prepare myself. Not for everything, because it was quite intrusive as well, in the sense that the checks, the questions, the training and everything, you know, that sort of thinking, oh, this is really, really hard. But because myself and Leslie didn't have any reservation about the process of checks and all of that, that didn't bother us too much. we know that in order to keep a child safe, you have to go through this process, and if we want to keep the children that comes into our home safe and they feel safe when they come into our home, you work the process, to make sure that we were the right people. Anyone becoming a foster carer, you have to be patient. You have to be understanding. You have to be tolerant. And you can't be oversensitive. Because sometimes when the children comes into your home, the behavior is not that they want to get at you, but it's how they feel. So you have to try to get some understanding as how they might be feeling, and you must always remember that they don't do things is always a reason for their behavior, and sometimes they're not able to explain how they feel and why they behave the way they behave. But you have to try and approach things more in a calm manner and an understanding manner to sort of reach them.